justice for all.
Preliminary announcements.
I have one. I want to tell Bob Bicey and public works people that Munhall is the best kept secret in Allegheny County and with the cleanest roads. And I really appreciate all. I had one complaint for about 4 days now. That is wonderful. We're the best. Bice, tell them guys they did a hell of a job.
Big job.
And, you know,
Wayne James Street.
I know we're burning some salt, but, we'll do it. Great job.
Thank you. Gary, take the roll, please. Joe Vallis. Present. Bernie Shields. Here. Rick Brennan. Here. Rich Bobadilla. Here. Ron Pauls. Here. Harvey Ingles. Here. Dan Lloyd. Here. Okay. Notice for all public speakers that are going to address council, comments will be limited to 3 minutes and must avoid references to personalities and personnel-related issues. We don't have any scheduled public speakers. So do we have anyone who wants to comment on agenda items?
Yeah, me.
Mr. Condas, do you want to step up to the podium?
I can't walk. I'm sorry. I just can't walk up that
State your name and address.
My name's Ray Condos, 166 West Marigold Street, Munhall. On item 4, the McQuillan Group. I thought we had a accounting firm that does it all the time. Last meeting, you said you had somebody that was doing the books and auditing the books.
Well, we actually are in negotiations and have somewhat of an agreement with a company that does public auditing by the name of HOSEC and Spec. They are certified public auditors, certified to do municipal audits in the state of Pennsylvania, which is a special certification. However, we need to clean up our books, and we put money in the budget to do just that. Right now, if you look at our books, we have asset accounts with negative balances and liability accounts with positive balances. And if you know anything about accounting,
I
it
graduated.
shouldn't look that way. So it makes it very difficult to go out and try to procure a TAN loan when your books don't make any sense.
Well, now,
We had Mr. McQuillan in here. He reviewed some of our statements, and we're gonna clean up the statements. And this is what we have to do. We have a $6.7 million budget. Last year it was $7.1 million, and we don't have a CPA on staff. So, as most towns do, they spend a little bit of money to make sure that their record keeping is accurate and consistent with standard accounting principles, generally accepted accounting principles, and we're gonna do that. You have another question?
in the past years, you have never given the end of the year financial statements out. You just give a budget at the beginning, but at the end, you never show what a profit and loss was for that year. So speaking of that way, how could you go into the bank and try to get money if you can't show them your books of what you have?
We do show them the books. The books are open, they're public knowledge. You can, we give out copies of what we have, and you're welcome to fill out a records request for any information that's public information at the borough office.
Okay. So that means we're gonna have a end of the year statement from now on. Like Homestead, West Mifflin, everybody puts it in the Valley Mirror.
Well, we intend to have a statement every month that shows how much money was expended, budget year to date versus what we budgeted, yeah.
Well, then why can't you just get no money out of the bank for this anticipation loan?
Because we are missing 2 audits. And it's just like an individual, if you go to the bank and say,
I know
you're
that.
gonna lend me $100,000, they say, where's your tax return? If you say you don't have it, then they don't give you the loan.
Yeah,
That's it.
but how could you go to the bank if you don't have your books up to date? What's the bank gonna do? Give it to you because they know you?
You can still go to the bank. if
Yeah,
we
but
are.
that's why they're turning you down, because you don't have those books.
Correct. Thank you, Mr. Cornish, for your comments.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have comments on agenda items?
Yeah, I have one, Mr. Chairman. Is there some reason that, motion number 3 and number 4, well, wait a minute, no, that's
change the order, Mayor, if you'd like.
I'd like that. I'd like
Fine.
that, yeah.
Does anybody have
Makes more
objection to
sense.
us changing the order of the motions? Well, if be it so ordered.
We're asking questions on agenda items, correct? Number four. Yeah, did we put this out for bid?
We did not.
Is there a reason why we did not? I mean, because everything else goes out for bid.
It's, well, we only put 5,000 in the budget, and it's professional services, which doesn't require us to bid it out.
I just thought for, you know, for the well-being of everybody, we would bid it out, but, okay.
Shouldn't you have that written in here that it's for $5,000?
It's in the budget. The budget hasn't
Yeah,
been.
but, I mean, budget hasn't been passed, but you don't always stick to the budget either, so. If you're gonna make a motion for $125 an hour, it should be a set scope of work.
We're gonna bring that up. It's not on the agenda, but we just got the engagement letter today. Point well taken.
Thank you.
We will make a motion on it. Thank you.
Sure.
Anyone else on agenda items? If not, we will move to number 2 and entertain a motion to adopt the budget. Do I have a motion? Motion. Second. Second by Mr. Ingles. Discussion on the budget.
Only discussion I have, Mr. Chairman, is that I worked over the weekend, once again, very hard to come up with a budget. And I have a budget here that is good for no tax increase as this one is, without any layoffs. I also have a budget with, even more. I think we can do a tax cut if it comes down to it by selling our number 3 fire hall and also some of the trucks and equipment that we have laying around. And this, I think, could drop us back. Should we want to do a no mill increase or a tax cut? Now, granted, in the budget I have, Mr. Chairman, I took the liberty of going through every item line by line. And again, too, it's taking your salaries out, the mayor and the council. But that's only 20 grand. But at the same time, it adds up to several other things that weren't looked at. For instance, you know, one way or the other, the library, for instance, that cost us $113,000. I noticed West Homestead and Homestead sure did increase their millage by that exact amount to pay for the library. So if they increase their amount, I think that's a cost that we obviously did not anticipate. I know we're gonna run into a lot of other costs, but there are things that I'd like to sit down, if anybody wants to sit down with me, and I'll go through this line in line, if it takes all night. And I'll show you how I got to my conclusion, but I can tell you that at the most, we could do a $500,000 tax increase, we could do a tax decrease also, if everybody was on the same line. There's a lot of items that, as I mentioned, the fire hall, restructuring this budget in certain things, there are items in there that are probably underestimated, there's budgets in there that are overestimated. And I think I can sit down for the budget that I went through, if anybody would like to sit down and talk about the budget, rather than just the budget that you're intending to accept. My services, my budget includes all services as is with no layoffs. No layoffs, nobody laid out. And I'd like to see that. There's other ways, there's stretching payments, which I was quite pleased, last Friday to see people going through, Dan's one of them, and, Harvey and other people going through item for item before paying checks, which we can stretch that out, and we, you know, I'm sure you guys are intelligent enough to know finances and to know which ones you can stretch out. We have our solicitor right here who's I wanna see them on the job. The police, there ain't no way in the world that I could see, especially after a weekend, like we've just had. The dispatcher did a terrific job, our work crew did a terrific job, our police did a terrific job. And they, one thing they did do is have all other items that they had to attend to, important items during their job. For me to lose 2 police officers, and that's just a guesstimate on my part, it's impossible for me to accept that. And I won't accept nobody being laid off, me personally, that's my feelings. If anybody's got other feelings and they wanna sit with me and tell me how full of hot air I am, I'll be glad to sit down and, talk about it, and if you're right, you're right. Now, this thing this budget was not caused by anybody but one individual, a despicable human being who has left here and caused this shortcoming. If the right bills would have been paid and he would have done his job, because he certainly did not do his job. If he would have done his job, we face no problem. So we need to go after him as far as I'm concerned. I don't know how exactly it is in anybody's mind, let's put it that way. But this man caused us all these problems. There is no need, I know people say 9/11's great, you can have it. This is Munhall. Our people in Munhall are not only used to it, but I don't see some of these other communities getting out of it. So, with that going back, I'll go back to the budget. The police calls, the communications is essential to the safety of Munhall Borough, the people, the security things that go on. The dispatchers always, as far as the buildings go, they secure this building. And we need that in this building. Otherwise, you might as well say it's off bounds to all these communities or all these people that want to have their meetings here. They're the ones. Well, I'm not gonna go on. I'm just saying that I am opposed to any layoff. I understand where you're coming from. I don't agree with it. I won't agree with it. We have too many good people, and I know you're talking about money. Money to me, while it is a greatest item, is not what determines how great Munhall operates. And these people, I see nobody losing their job as is going on all over the place in this country. So, with that, I'll just say that, you brought up the item for the budget. Go on, anybody got anything else to ask me or say? Go ahead, Mr. Chairman, go on with your vote, or do what you see fit.
Thank you, Mayor. Rich, before I move on to you, I just want to say thank you, Mayor, for all the work that you did on the budget. This year, coming into 2014, knowing that we were going to have a tough time getting an anticipation loan, the mayor kind of outdid himself and took himself back to the days when he was a councilman, and he really worked hard on the budget, so we thank you for that.
You're welcome.